if a customer buys it, especially a pie, it could sit in the counter at their house for 3 or 4 days,
Yeah.
and by then it starts to get really old. So we try to. So a pie like that, there's nothing wrong with them. I've taken pies upstairs to my own house, and they've eaten them a week later without a problem. You're just trying to keep them fresh for the customer.
Hmm.
And so you hate to see something like that. Just when somebody can use that and feed people is great.
Welcome to Hopecast, where we share hope and inspiration about what God is doing in our personal lives at Blessings of Hope and in our community. I'm your host, David Lapp. In each episode, we'll explore the powerful ways that faith, generosity, and love are making a difference in those around us. In this episode, I'm joined with David Burkholder from Achenbach's Pastries to share their inspiring story. So, you said you've been with Achenbach's for 40 plus years.
Right.
I'm sure you've learned a few things about making donuts, making long johns, that kind of thing. So, what got you started in that business?
I needed a job, and they were looking for somebody back in the '80s, and George, the owner, took me in, and from there, it just clicked.
Yeah.
I like baking and cooking, and it worked for me.
So Achenbach's is a local. What would you say? Like a Long John shop or a donut shop? What do you consider yourselves to be?
We're actually a pastry shop. I mean, we have cakes and
Okay.
muffins and pies, and we're known for our sticky buns on top of our long johns.
Yep. And a Long John is just a long donut with icing on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And is that something that you guys started, or is that something that was out there and you just copied it?
That's an original back from when it opened in '54,
Okay.
and I'm assuming that came from the Bender's Bakery where it originated from.
Okay. Yep. So how many Long Johns do you make per day, or like what?
Well, it all depends on the day. Now Fridays are big. The beginning of the week's a little slower. Like Sunday actually goes pretty good for Monday, but on Friday we make an average of 300 dozen long johns on a Friday,
Okay.
and on Thursday about 250 dozen long johns.
Well,
So
so walk us through, what does a day to day look like for you? I mean, you're in like the operations side of things.
yeah, I actually start like at 3 in the morning. All depends on the morning. Some mornings 1 in the morning. I'll work in the kitchen, getting things started, helping out with my day shift crew and whatever we do. And then usually by 8 o'clock, I can get away more to my office because I have ordering to do and other stuff to take care of, and then plus keeping after the whole place.
Yeah, and just keeping everything running. So a couple of years ago, I'm not sure how long ago it was now that we've started picking up your excess or you know pastries that you needed to donate. Do you know how that connection was started, or how that came about?
I'm not really sure. I know this much. We used to the Bowery used to get our
Hmm.
stuff, and that was Paul Byers
Yep.
used to come with the truck, and then I knew Paul, was up there in age, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the transition went because, far as I know, I just assumed the Bowery just kind of turned into Blessings of Hope. So I mean, how long has Blessings of Hope been around?
2006, we started in a three-car garage, and I think it was 2010, 2012 when Paul was no longer able to do that, and
Right,
Blessing of Hope sort of stepped in to take over.
took over.
Uh, excuse me. Although the Bowery still does, like, they still have an employee that works out of our warehouse here in Leola,
Okay,
so they do get a lot of food from us to take up to New York City yet. So we still have a very close relationship with
so,
the
so,
Bowery. So
so,
yeah.
so okay.
So that would have been okay.
Yeah, from our end, it just seemed to transition. At one point, it was Paul, and next thing I know, it was Blessings of Hope picking stuff up,
Yeah,
and there was actually no phone calls telling me this, and it didn't matter to me. I mean, I knew it was going to a good place, so
yeah,
that's what really mattered.
yeah. I personally wasn't that involved over that time. It would have been Aaron Fisher that was more working with Paul, and I'm not sure how that whole transition happened, but
Okay,
yeah, it's just it's a blessing to be able to. to utilize a product, that you can't use, and then get that to people that need it.
Right.
It's yeah,
And the problem is, I mean, the product's not really bad. Part of it, like certain things like pies and stuff, we could probably try to sell longer, but you got to look at it from the fact that if a customer buys it, especially a pie, it could sit in the counter at their house for 3 or 4 days,
yeah,
and by then it starts to get really old. So we try to sell a pie like that. There's nothing wrong with them. I've taken pies upstairs to my own house, and they've eaten them a week later without a problem. You're just trying to keep them fresh for the customer.
hmm
And so you hate to see something like that. Just when somebody can use that and feed people would be is great.
yeah, yeah. It's sort of been a blessing to work with Achenbachs and different local companies, and just like I said earlier, just take that product and then make it available to people that are serving the community. It's definitely been a blessing. So
Yeah,
thank you.
because I remember once while you tell me your buckets they went to Africa this year or
Okay.
this week or something like that.
Yeah, I know the empty buckets that we're able to. I know we've been able to use them to ship internationally
Right,
as a packaging. And when they arrive, then they can use that to carry water or whatever. We're not just throwing away a
right.
cardboard box. So yeah,
So it works out really
yeah,
good both ways.
yeah. Well, anything you wanted to share yet before we wrap it up here?
No, I think it's been a good partnership. It's good to have some place for the stuff to go that doesn't just get wasted.
Yeah,
And knowing that you guys take it to where it needs to go, where it's going to get utilized the most, and not just I'm not sure what I'd say there, but not just wasted somewhere else,
yeah,
but it goes to where it helps other people is good to know.
yeah. So if somebody wants to try a Long John, where can they find one?
They can get them, of course, at the bakery. Also, there's up in Allentown Farmers Market at the fairgrounds. He sells them. I think her name it's Fisher. It's in Central Market. She carries them. Trying to think what other. There's not a lot of places. There's some down Philly way that get them also, but
Yeah, but
basically at the bakery
the main baker is there on
on
23.
23, just outside of Leola,
Yep, outside the
on
old.
the way to New Holland.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, David, for joining us.
You're welcome.
God bless you. Thank you for being a part of Blessings of Hope, and helping provide food for people in need.
Not a problem.
God bless you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So if you're hungry for a Long John or other great pastries, I encourage you to visit Achenbach's Pastries in Leola on Route 23. To learn more about Blessings of Hope, check out our website at blessingsofhope.com. God bless you, and remember that you can bring hope to the people that you meet every day.